Hi, welcome back to Heroes on Our Island. I'm Mike Stevens, coming to you this week from Levittown, where music legend Billy Joel grew up. Let's go to Mineola now, where there's all kinds of opinions about how to fight crime. And we introduce you to a prosecutor who has a different approach. Kamara Edwards is an electrician who at one point in his life was incarcerated. He served his time and was released, but couldn't find a job, which is a key to getting your life back on track. And he was losing hope fast.
I had no direction. I know I wanted some kind of change, but I didn't know exactly how change could come when I've been doing such the wrong thing for so long.
But then someone told him about a lady who might be able to help.
And I heard about her. She didn't know me, so I actually went there and I saw her, and she didn't know me from a hole in the wall. And I just asked for help. I said, please, can you help me? And she gave me a hug, and she told me to go in there and have a seat, and that's what I did. And I had to sit down and realize, what it was all about first. It was kind of awkward for me.
Awkward because the woman's a Nassau County prosecutor, somebody who you would normally think makes a living looking for ways to put people away. But in her case, it's the opposite.
I was from these neighborhoods and from the streets, and that perception was you never would deal with a person normally like that. But once I sat down and I got a chance to know her, that's what changed my whole way of thinking.
A lot of these young men buy into that they're worthless, that the only thing they can be is what a criminal, a gangster. I emphasize the fact that character is the most important thing.
Risco Lewis loved to help people growing up. After graduation from Hofstra Law School, the help continued in a different way. She became a prosecutor for Nassau County and launched the CODA program in 2008 to give people a second chance to live a good and honest life.
We got that name and acronym based upon, at the end of every evening, we say the CODA motto, and that is our thoughts become our actions become our habits become our character becomes our destiny. And we stand in a circle, put our fists together and say that. And it's also really the steps of change. First you change your thinking, then you change your actions, your habits, etc. So CODA is the Council of Thought and Action.
For those who are accepted into the program, there are meetings a few evenings a week where Risco Lewis talks, shares, and hears what the men and women of all ethnic backgrounds have to say. But it's more than a time of just talking.
First phase of what we do is called the corporate plan. You have to have a written plan for your life. So they do a 45-day plan. The minute they get into CODA with Mr. Drew, they do a written plan for their life. What do you want to accomplish in your next 45 days? A lot of these guys think, I'm a man, I got to do this alone. And so the idea of the Board of Advisors lets them know, no, you need to be looking for people to guide you. And the last part, the most important part of what we do, I believe, is higher ideals. Is believing in something more than making money. Is say that your worth is not dependent upon how much money you make. It's dependent on your character, how you define your character. And then we do a lot of volunteer work. The guys do a lot of volunteer work, and the women in CODA, because we say that you first define your character from within, and then you exercise it in the community so the community can see it and it can shine. That's what CODA is all about. It's about redefining your character. That's the most important thing in CODA, is that they redefine themselves. They find their self-worth. Are you done?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Part of the CODA program involves getting participants jobs. This is often done through their apprenticeship program. This housing unit being built in Hempstead is one of the places where the participants have been successful in learning and getting full-time positions.
This is not an individual effort. It's a group effort. It really is. Although I will say this, my goal in life, and I tell my guys too, your goal in life in your higher ideals is to be a superhero in your community.
And that superhero or hero on our island analogy is one the guys in the program readily agree to.
She's more than a hero. And if she was a hero, she would be like the Superman hero that, she snatched the cape off and goes in a booth and comes out a whole nother person. Like, she's just amazing. One by one, she changed our lives. Everything I do now, I owe up to her in the CODA movement. So
I knew there was more to what I was going to be doing than just prosecuting cases. I went to the DA's office. I became a prosecutor because I felt that the only way you can change the system and make it better is to be a part of it. If they don't do what they do because they're bad, they do what they do because they hurt. Because they have defined themselves based upon the view of them in America, which is that they're worthless. And that's the thing I discovered, that once they realize they have worth, this is what they can accomplish.
Well, Prosecutor Lewis is known nationally for the CODA program and often travels around the country letting people know how it works. And she says of the several hundred people who have been through it, most have continued to lead a clean life and avoided a life of crime.